So what I'm going to do, like yesterday when I went down, I asked each group to give me their values. I want you just to give me your estimate pH value. Okay? So I want you to give me the number, and then I also want you to tell me if that number is going to be acidic or it's going to be basic. This one right. So we're looking at the chart at the very top of the page. Alright, so our first one we have well water. And Cody, what did your group have as its estimate?
4.
You had a pH of 4? Alright, and is 4 an acidic or is 4 a basic pH? Well, let's think for a second. Now, if it's lower pH, it's going to have a lot of H plus ions. And so do you remember when we did our scale from 0 to 14? So here, I'll just draw it again real quick over here. So we had a scale of 0, and we had 7. So we had this region right here, and we have this region right here. So there ends up being 3 different regions. Who remembers what a pH of 0 to 7 represents? Yes, I do. That is an acid. And because it's an acid, it's going to have more hydrogen ions than our OH minus, which was the hydroxide. Alright, so what happens then if we're above 7? Yes, that's a base. Because we're going to have more of this, OH minus, than what we're going to have greater than this H plus. So what happens at 7 then? Cody, can you tell me what happens at a pH of 7?
Is it kind of like the neutral?
Yes, that's the neutral one. Alright, so now going back to your numbers. 4 going to be an acid or a base? It's going to be an acid. Alright, I want the first distilled water group now to tell me. Not yet, we're going to do estimate first. So who had distilled water?
This guy.
Alright.
Our guy.
Alright. Abel, what did you?
X make.
Alright. Next. You had a pH of what?
5.
You asked a pH of 5, and is that an acid? And then write acid next to it. Alright, who else had distilled water? There was another. Alright. Christian, what did you guys?
We estimated 7.
You estimated 7? Alright, so what's 7? Is that an acid or base or neutral? Alright, good. So it's neutral. Alright, now we're going to look at tap water. Who had tap water? Alright, Sydney? Can you tell me what you had? You estimated 6? Alright. And is that acid or base? Yes, that is an acid. And then who had the last tap water? Cody?
We estimated to be 0.
Estimated 0? Okay. So with that, so you think that's acid or basic? Alright. And then we had 2 river water groups. So now what do you guys have for your estimate? You estimated 8. Okay. So is that acidic or basic? Alright. And then Jade, you had the other river sample?
Yeah, we estimated 6.
So you estimated 6. Alright.
Alright.
So I want to know why you guys thought these numbers in particular. So for Maggie, you had river water. Why did you think it was a pH of 8? Like, what were you thinking when you were guessing? So you think it was basic because it won't hurt? It's just left untouched? Alright. For those of you that thought it was acidic, Cody, like, why did you think, actually, let's Cody first, I want you to tell me, why did you think it had such a low pH for the well water?
Just because, like, there's nothing done to it, like, it's not put into the process, it's just,
Okay.
it's just fresh.
So do you know where well water resides in?
The ground.
Right, it resides underneath before it's tapped and then purified. So we have a lot of different reasoning to why we got what we did. So now I'm gonna ask the same question, but now I want you to give me your actual value.
It's -6.
Alright, so the well water was a pH of 6. So it's a little bit different than what you thought. Alright, now I need the distilled water. So the first group that gave me their number, can you tell me what you had for your actual pH? You actually got 4? That's interesting. Alright. Now for the other distilled group. What was the other group that had distilled water?
Christian.
Alright. Tap water, the one that said 13. That's
You smell good.
you got 6, okay. The other tap water,
We got 6.
you got 6, okay. And now for river water 1, Maggie, what did you guys get for your actual?
7.
You actually got 7? Alright. And Jade, what did you guys?
We also got 6.
You got 6. Alright, so there's some interesting discrepancies there. So for those of you that had values, you know, higher than what you thought, were you surprised to see them this way? Like, what do you think is causing these trends to be this way? So if we look at our well water, Cody's originally projected that his well was going to be a pH because it was underground, it wasn't cleaned at all. But when he actually put the litmus paper in, it read a 6. So what do you think explains, why are we getting this to be less acidic than what he originally thought? This is open to all of you guys. So let's think about the well water. So well water is sitting underground, right? Waiting to be tapped. Some of the well water is actually connected into other aquifer systems. So when they pump well water, it's mixing in and then it's becoming purified. So by the time we actually get it to purify, it loses some of that acidity through the purification process. And when you did your research, you found out more about how the purification process works. So, and that's why the pH in that case is different. Now, Maggie, you originally estimated it to be a very basic solution. So were you surprised to see the river water a little more acidic than what you thought it would be? So what do you think is causing it to be that way? Why do you think it's... You told me before that you thought it was undisturbed. And so, you know, it would just be above 7, but now you're actually realizing